For us, I think we certainly experience homophobia more often from black people because that's who we're closer to. And often when I'm in white spaces, they're dealing with me as a black man first and foremost. So like white women are clutching their purses, there's all, you know, like all of that kind of stuff doesn't change because I'm gay.
And some of that is also tied to sort of patriarchal masculinity. And that's like so much embedded in how these white nationalist groups are operating. They're not coming to people necessarily first talking about race. They're coming to some of these young men on the internet talking about like their lack of feeling like whatever sense of so-called manhood that they feel.
Just yesterday at this conference, a major figure in the same-sex marriage movement told a young queer person of color that there are some people in our community who are fit to lobby and some who are fit to sing and dance. These kinds of comments are simply disgusting, particularly since many people of color and transgender people in white gay male spaces are only allowed to do as much.
Particularly where science is concerned and being activists around science and research and treatment, we need not concede that space to white men. The Tuskegee syphilis study was exposed and closed in 1972, right? That was only 9 years before HIV entered our public consciousness. So is it any surprise that black folks I still come up against in Ubers and barbershops or whatever, like, don't you think that they got the Q&A telling us, or is man-made, or the different kinds of conspiracy theories? And so for me, what I say to folks is like, well, I can point you to where the fucking racism is in the system. That ain't it, right? But there's racism in it, right? If I tell them about, you know, what we talk treatment as prevention, or U equals U, or viral suppression, and how people can't transmit the virus, it's like their heads explode. And if I tell them about PrEP, their heads explode like 4 times. And then the thing is, they're inevitably black folks who then say to me, well, why in the hell isn't anybody talking to black people about this? I believe in a separation between church and state. I believe that if you want to get up in a Vera Wang on any given Sunday in June in a church or whatever, do you, boo, right? Do you. However, that should be a ceremony or party, whatever you want to do, like a bar mitzvah, right? When you go, any 2 people who go to the DMV or to whatever kind of state licensing, that language should be neutral. It's civil, you know, reciprocal beneficiary. If you want domestic partnership, whatever the language is, it should be decoupled, from, you know, marriage so that whatever marriage means, and people who are but it's sacred, fine, boo, I don't care. Do what you know, if that's how you roll, that's how you roll. I don't care, right? Like, but from a kind of civil sort of process, like the state should not look at that as because you got up in a Vera Wang on any given day, or you know, or had a sort of ceremony of that nature, that it should look at whatever that household arrangement is, or that relationship as primary. So therefore, the actual certification or whatever should not even be a marriage license, right? If you ask me, and we should change that. And people should be able to go to the DMV and just fill it out the way you do. If I'm like do something like give my organs or something like that, that's, you know, that serious, I should just be able to check off, this is who my boo is when I register to vote. And you know, in 4 years when I renew this sucker, we'll see how we are. And we'll see if we keep it. You know, it's that simple. And I talk to people like that and they get it. Boom.